Hello, arcade gamers, and welcome back to Biggie D's Arcade. Tonight, we're doing my 70-second chill and chat live on a Sunday evening with you guys talking home arcade. And we've got a very special guest in the house tonight to join us. We've got Brooklyn Menace, been a longtime viewer of his channel. I know he views and watches my videos and these live streams, so I thought he'd be the perfect guest to have on tonight. I haven't had him on before. How's it going tonight, Brooklyn?
It's going great. Great to be here hanging out with you finally.
Very good. And let's say hi to the audience real quick. It looked like we had quite a few people in the chat already today. And early on, it looked like Mike Hawkhurts. He says, Biggie D, see you guys here in a few minutes. Ray is here as well. Good to see you, Ray. We've got Jason here saying evening. Good to see you, Jason. Marine 50 saying good evening programs. And Gregory, I've been seeing him on the leaderboards. We've been doing these pinball tournaments for Zen. FX3 and FX with Papa Brad and T. McCloskey on Arcade Talk. And I've been seeing Gregory way up on the leaderboards, like top 3 most of the time. Incredible scores. Good to see Gregory.
I met Gregory at Too Many Games.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
he
on
was
the
there.
last day.
Very cool. So you guys have actually met. That's cool to hear. Hopefully Gregory will make, we were just talking right before the stream about Pinball Expo in Chicago here in October. I'm going to be there. I guess you're not going to be there, Brooklyn?
No, that Chicago's a bit far. I'd probably have to jump on a plane for that, but possibly, if they do the one in Cleveland again, and potentially I'm going to the Long Island Gaming Expo, the one that Glenn is hosting.
Very cool.
Next month.
So next month in August, you're going to be at Long Island, maybe
We'll
in
see.
September, Cleveland.
Yeah.
I know there's a bunch of people going to Cleveland this year again. I'm not going to make it, unfortunately, this year. But I had a really good time last year at that event. I know I wanted you to go as well. You didn't make it, but I would definitely try and go this year if you can. It's worth, the trip. TK Magic Shops in the chat. He says, "What's up, crew? Good to see you, TK." We've got Carl O here as well. Good to see you, Carl O. He says, "Good to see you all," and always good to see Carl O in the chat. He's been one of the longest viewers on this channel I can remember. When I first started this channel, like my very first live stream, Carlo was like the very first guy to pop in there and say hi and watch.
Even longer than me, Biggie D?
Yeah,
I think I've
you
been
might
here
have
from
been
the
like
start,
second
too.
or third, but he was like my first. I remember. Science Spirits, good to see you there in the chat. Science Spirits, and who else we got? Okay, so that's everyone. Good to see everyone this evening. Tonight we're just going to kind of do a different kind of show. Typically I've got an agenda. I've got topics I want to cover. I've got news I want to cover with our guest. Bunch of questions lined up. I didn't do any prep at all for this show tonight.
Sounds
really,
like my show.
Yeah, I really just wanted to chill out and just talk. And I've been wanting to do this for a while, where we just kind of go into the show with nothing ready, and just whatever we talk about ends up being the show. So also, I want to get the viewers engaged too. Like if you guys have topics you want to discuss tonight, bring those up, and that'll get that started and get us discussing that together. Papa Brad's Gaming has joined us. Good to see you. And MSU Rich is here as well. Good to see you, MSU. So I guess we'll start with the Zultar, only because I just got mine yesterday. Let's see if I can get you in here, but make myself bigger. Maybe not, but I just wanted to show everyone this. So Brooklyn will be off the screen here for just a moment. But we've got the Zultar here, and I got it in this attract mode where I've got it plugged in with a charging cable because I heard the battery dies pretty quickly on these. And but I've got it in this attract mode where basically I just swipe in front of it and it'll say something to me. So I'll show you guys.
I am Zultar, the great gypsy, and I can see your fortune. Come see it too, no?
It's a very cool little machine, though. I like it a lot already. Just right out of the box, I'm instantly hooked with this thing. And there was also a lot of anticipation getting this and getting it out of the box. Normally I'll wait until my review's done, or I've got the review started before I start unpackaging it. That way you get the whole experience. Me like taking the cellophane wrap off, unboxing it, and seeing all that as I open it. But this one, I just had too much of a urge to open it, and I couldn't resist, and I ended up unboxing it before the review even started, just because it's such a cool little toy and something so different than New Wave Toys has ever done before. I mean, this little thing's incredible, and like the appeal it'll have to like other people outside of the home arcade community or even the arcade community. There's going to be people all over the world buying these things up. So it's really good for New Wave Toys and their business going forward, and how much they'll have, to make the arcades moving forward. This will help their business to help them do that for us. And so it's really exciting time for us fans of their products and this company. Do you have any New Wave Toys stuff, Brooklyn?
I don't, but I'm going to tell you, this was the first one that I had in the cart, and I almost hit the button.
Oh,
I almost
really?
ordered it. And this is nothing.
Was this pre-order when it was $80, or was this when it was $135?
When they had it on sale the other day for like $139.
Yeah. Well, how much was the shipping on that?
I think the shipping might have been, I think it was only about $20, which isn't
not bad.
terrible for what I've heard with New Wave Toys on some of the other stuff. But I'm going to tell you, I love New Wave Toys. The only reason I just didn't start is because I knew it would become another addiction. Like once you get one, then you're going to want to get every single one that comes out. You're going to want to try to find the ones that are really difficult to get. They've gotten pretty expensive.
Oh yeah.
So I've just backed off, but I got to tell you, I just love what I see where I've seen some videos sometimes where I think I'm looking at an actual arcade and it's somebody's New Wave toy setup.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, and I just love it. I look at it as almost like model train collecting, but for home arcade enthusiasts, and just setting them up. Yeah, they do some fantastic work, and yeah.
I don't have like the arcade setup
man.
where I like can do photographs and like make it look like a real arcade. I don't have that set up. I think that's really cool, the people that do that, and they're really into it, and they call it the diorama and that whole setup that they do. Mine's just a shelf. Like I have a shelf going, and I just start putting them on each shelf, and eventually I'll have two on each shelf, and then I'll have to get a bigger shelf, and that's how I'm doing mine, because I like to pull them off and enjoy them one at a time individually rather than have them all in one little area.
Yeah, and that's what I like about the Zultar and like the Coke machines, because even if you don't like, you can almost get those as just a separate thing to like put up on a shelf in your home arcade or somewhere in your house and just enjoy it. I noticed that yours wasn't dispensing tickets. Did you not put the tickets in to not waste them?
Well, it's in the attract mode. So there's an off setting, there's an attract mode setting, and then there's like an on setting. When it's in attract mode, it just talks to you when you walk by.
That's how I would keep it.
And then the on is where you can put a coin in, and it'll tell you it's whatever it wants to tell you, your wish, and then it'll give you a ticket. But then if you don't want to use the coins, there's a button on the right side you can press, and that'll activate it just like you would be putting a coin in. But so you really have like 3 different ways you can enjoy it. Just the attract mode as you pass by it, coin operated, attraction, or just button activated attraction.
Dude, if I had one of those in the house and like somebody walked in front and it dispensed the ticket and they went to tear it off, I'd be like, no.
And then Papa Brad, he had asked here, did I buy Zultar Big ED? No, this one was sent to me for the purpose of review. So just full disclosure, I didn't pay for this one. So I will be making a video on it. And I'm going to try and get the video out quickly. I've contacted Castles and Coasters, which is a local arcade around here. They have one right at their entrance. And actually working with Retro Ralph, he got me in contact with the business owners of that place. So that was really helpful of him. And hopefully they'll accept and allow me in during non-business hours so I can film. If not, I'll just go up during business hours as a customer and try to get a quick video in if they'll let me.
You did an amazing job on your first New Wave Toys review. The last one they sent you out.
The Ghost and Goblins or the Frenzy?
I think it might have been the Ghosts and Goblins.
Okay, that was like my first review with them, and I do remember putting a bunch of time into that one. That one was a highly edited video where I spent a lot of time editing, and I don't know if I so much enjoy spending days at a time making videos. I think I most enjoy making a video in the same day, where I can get it all done I can even start in the morning and finish in the evening. That's even okay.
You know what?
But
Some of you guys with the editing, like, you guys are popping out videos left and right. I'm pretty much an editor. That's what I do. And yeah, I'm working on a couple of videos right now, and it's just extremely time consuming, but I love doing it. Where for me, where what slows me down is once I get up to the part where I'm going to put myself in the video and say something. So at this point, I'm probably just going to turn the camera on, just keep talking. If I screw up, just keep going, and then I'll just edit it where it'll look good into the video. Because I'm just I do a lot of editing for my show, but like I do most of my stuff live.
Yeah.
That's always the way I've been, and whatever happens, happens. But I realize that viewers on channels, like the kind of content that they really eat up are these smaller, like 8 to 10 minute videos. So you will be seeing my channel going in that direction. I'm going to be working on a lot of highly polished edited videos and start kind of like using my strong, my strengths as someone who likes to edit to start pumping out. I got some
looking forward to
AtGames
that
videos
because I don't feel like we've had like a review video or like just like a fully edited video from you in a while.
It's been a minute.
We did get the recent one where you were at the expo though, or the convention.
That was not edited. That's just me.
Oh, you're still
live
working
stuff,
on that.
doing shorts. I am still working on the 4K footage that I shot.
Okay.
But yeah, so
I'm looking forward to that stuff because I remember when you said you were going to get back into editing and making videos. I was looking forward to what you were going to create because I know like in your live streams, like your videos you do for like the pregame and like the intros and all that, that stuff is really good and really well made. And your super chat videos, all that stuff. So I know you could make a great video.
Yeah, just the part that slows me down is when it's time for me to get in. When I'm just doing stuff live, like I said, whatever happens, happens. But when I'm actually looking at myself and I've recorded it, I'm way too picky about everything. But I got to start banging out more just pre-edited videos. So yeah, you will start seeing a lot more of that on my channel.
And it looked like we had a question come in on the Zultar here from Steve Sell. He says, Biggie D, does the Zultar eyes move left to right? So I need to go back in and check that. I can't verify that for sure, Steve, because I meant to look for that earlier today when I was playing with it. But I was only catching the eyes to the right. I wasn't catching the eyes to the left. But I think it may be doing that right when I activate it, like I put in the coin or I press the button. But I can't tell you for sure if it is or not. Because I haven't verified. But to date, like so far, I haven't seen the eyes go to the left yet. So I'll have to keep looking for that. So that may be an issue. He says mine moves to the left and back to center. The IR sensor is defective. I don't have any issues with the IR sensor. And he put a ticket in with New Wave Toys. That's what everyone's doing right now. Just sending an email to New Wave Toys. It sounds like from our live stream with P-Dubs, they're going to take care of everyone. So you just have to open that ticket, let them know what the issues are, and they'll get it figured out with you. I actually have a couple issues on mine already. I've noticed, like the chain that goes around the neck, it's fallen off it's come off his head and it's back behind his back. So I'm gonna have to open it up to pull that chain out from behind him and put it back on him. And I noticed there's like a little like a spot on his chest where there's glue where that should have sat and been stuck to him, but it didn't stick.
Yeah, so the chain was probably loose, and then they just put a little glue. And you got to think, like in shipping, these things are getting knocked around. Boxes going all different
that's what I was thinking.
So.
Is it was getting knocked around. It was moving around a lot in the shipping. So that's I'm not so upset about that because it's an easy fix. Once New Wave Toys gives us the instructions on how to open these and the proper way of opening them, I'll have no issue, taking a few screws out and, fixing that. That's no issue for me. But everything else has worked. The IR sensor's working. The ticketing's working. And then I do have a little bit of dust inside there. And I know what that is. It's not actually dust. There's a lot of fabrics inside the Zultar. And those are getting moved around a lot in shipping as well. So there's like little flakes and stuff in there from that fabric. So once you wipe all that down and clean it out, I think it'll be good going forward. But overall, I mean, those are just cosmetic things that don't really affect the function of it. And if the eyes don't move all the way to the left, they're just moving center to right. I don't know if that's going to be a huge deal for me. You know, I mean, maybe it will be the more I look into it. We'll see. But I know they're taking care of everyone. And then what we learned in the live stream as well is this is his first, you know, try at this at animatronics. They've never done this before. So you got to give them a little bit of a break on that. This is their first try at it, or first, you know, opportunity to make one. So they'll definitely perfect them and they'll get better over time. I know that. But they've done a fantastic job with what I have already. So
seems like it's going to be a big seller for them too.
Oh yeah, it's going to be huge. Like you just got to think of like all like the on the side of the road when you're traveling, all those little shops on the little stops along the way where they have all the antique stuff inside there. These stores are going to buy these things up and sell them like crazy. And then you've got to think also just any tourist type area, tourist trap area that has gift shops and stuff. They're going to want these. So they're going to be big sellers. I think the thing that's going to make it hardest for the retailers is the price. If they're trying to sell them at 150, they may have to come down on that price a little bit to get them into retail. Maybe they'll be like 130 or 120 when you find them in the store. But pretty cool little toy for sure. I love what they're doing with these. And I saw a poll on P-Dub's channel. He's talking about like what's their next animatronic. A lot of people want like the what is it, the Showbiz Pizza, you know, like the bears and stuff that they had the little band with all those characters. So we'll see what they do next.
Yeah, I saw people voting for Chuck E. Cheese as well, that's what I voted for.
Yeah, I remember that well growing up. So like that's the thing with Zultar. I remember Zultar very well from the movie Big, and then also even recognizing seeing them in the arcades. You know, growing up as well, you know, these versions of Zultar Speaks were prominent in all the arcades I remember. So, very cool, nostalgic type purchase that you can get with and experience you get with these. And then in like Showbiz Pizza, you know, those types of things there, are going to be Chuck E. Cheese. Those characters, animatronics, are ones I remember very well as well. But you got to think like there's so many other things they could do. You know, also, other licenses they could get as well.
Think about like Chuck E. Cheese. Like, how would they do that? Are they going to actually? Would you have to buy each individual character? Because wouldn't that be kind of expensive trying to like simulate the entire Chuck E. Cheese band in one product?
Yeah, I think you would have to do them individually.
And then, even at smaller scale, that would be pretty big.
Yeah. And then, you know, they're like $100 a pop. You end up buying all of them. It gets expensive, but you just buy the one you want starting out. I think that would be the route they would go, because these are already a little bit bigger than the, you know, the arcades, the replicades. They're actually not an exact match, you know, to like when you put it next to the arcade, it's actually taller than the arcades.
That would make sense though, because if you saw like a Zultar, one of those in person, they are taller than the average arcade. They would usually be off in a corner by themselves.
That's good that you mentioned that. So that's something I need to look for, because I may be wrong on that. These things may be taller than arcades, but I felt like they weren't. I thought they were about 6 foot tall, if I'm thinking right. And most arcades are around almost 6 foot tall, don't you think?
I would say about that, but yeah, those were always pretty tall. Those old classic Zultar machines. Yeah, that definitely. I don't know. You could probably look it up on.
It'll be interesting when I get into the arcade.
I think they were taller than arcade.
Because that's something I want to answer for everyone. Is like, is this an exact match as far as size? Is it, you know, matching up to the replicades, or is this a different line and they're just going to be a little bit bigger?
They are known to be very particular about getting stuff right, you know, so I wouldn't be surprised if they matched what they thought would be to scale next to an arcade.
Steps Gaming says, hey, back from Showbiz Pizza Convention. Seriously. And I saw her images on Facebook she shared with everyone, so she is there, and hopefully we'll get a video from Steps soon showing that off. I know she's big into this animatronics, new Wave Toys, you know, and these new products they're putting out. We got James Hates Everything. He's here. He's saying Showbiz could be sold individually. Just plan for them to be able to be linked from the beginning. Yeah, absolutely. Be able to link them together. And Brent Metz is here. He says, "Hi guys, good to see you, Brent."
Zultar comes next week.
Let's see. How do I say this? Kikabron Crane. Did I say it right?
Ichabod Crane. That's my
Ichabod
buddy.
Crane. You don't say the II.
No, it's just Ichabod.
Ichabod
But
Crane.
he did it,
For iiRcade.
Yeah, because he's a huge iiRcade fan.
He says 150. They sold out at 80, and now they're sold out at 135. More are coming, and yeah, they'll probably sell out the next wave of these at 150. I don't think they're going to have any issue selling these. This is more. This is bigger than arcades, like what we buy them for. But very cool. I like mine. I'm looking forward to the review. That should hopefully come out here in the next couple weeks. Just really depends on the location and getting access to that Zultar they have there. Now theirs is a different color. It's a blue one. And we did hear Shiloh say he's open to doing different colors. We heard Characters Unlimited say they offer various colors as well. So maybe we'll get like some special edition ones and the colors we want to see. But the one they have at Castles and Coasters is blue. So it'd be a good comparison. And so going forward, to kind of finish out our New Wave Toys talk and move on to something else, are you going to get any New Wave Toys here coming up in the near future?
I never want to say never because I'm telling you, I almost pulled the trigger.
Yeah.
On this Zultar, but I'm just trying not to start another addiction.
Yeah, I know how these home arcades go, and like at one point you had a room full of Arcade1Ups.
I did. I unloaded a couple of them, and I'm really happy I did. I just feel like I can breathe in here more. I do have a eGrit Mini 2, and I've had the Build-A-Cade since the day it came out, but I've never put it together. It's actually inside one of my arcades because I use the inside to like store boxes and things like that for like some of my collectible stuff. But after being at too many games and seeing the Donkey Kong kit installed on the Build-A-Cade,
oh yeah, that's really cool.
I got that. Now I hear it takes sometimes stuff that you get from Zabos that it takes a while, but whenever that shows up, I'll have that little.
So you got the Build-A-Cade for $50 at the convention?
No, I pre-ordered the Build-A-Cade before it was even out. So
okay, so you already had one.
Yeah, it's been sitting in the box since day one because at that time, when it came out, if you remembered, it was really hard to get like Pi 3 or Pi 4. They were in very limited stock, and the prices of those just went through the roof. So,
yeah, and so you're going to get those art kits from Zabo's Arcade. Which one are you going to get?
I got Donkey Kong.
Donkey Kong, that's right.
I was thinking, then I saw Popeye, and I was like, I don't know. It was tough. And both of those cabinets look.
Are they
very
easy
similar.
to swap out? Like if you get multiple ones?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
it's like,
so you won't just buy another Build-A-Cade.
Once you put it together and then you put the artwork on the side, once you stick that on, you're not going to be taking it apart again. You're going to mess the whole thing up because it comes with pieces that fit right into the Build-A-Cade to give it the shape of Donkey Kong before you put the side art on. So once you do it, it's pretty much set as what it is.
And then for the games, it doesn't come with anything, right? Like you have to put a Raspberry Pi in it?
Yeah, it comes with one game.
It comes with one game?
Yeah.
How does it do that? Is there a board in there already?
I guess it must be somewhere in like memory that's built in on it. But
okay. And what game does it come with?
Why did I forget? That game was also on iiRcade. It was the game.
Oh, the Heavy Metal Titans?
It's almost like no. Biggie, Heavy Metal Titans on the Build-A-Cade. No, this was a legit arcade. Brad's going to know. It was almost looks like a Dig Dug type game, but it was a game that was put out by, I believe, Midway that really failed. It kind of came at the wrong time. And so when iiRcade first came around, they had this deal where if you put out like a video or something, they would send you that game for free. I don't know why. It's like, I don't know why the the name of the game is slipping
But
my mind.
like
There we go. The Adventures of Robbie wrote it.
Okay.
I knew Brad would know.
So right out of the box, you can play it as I mean, that's the big thing to take from this is like if you buy it, you can play something on it. But to really get your value out of this and enjoy it, you're going to need to put like a Raspberry Pi or something in there to play
Yeah,
more
or
games.
you can get Glenn's Viper board.
Or his Viper board will fit in there as well.
And I'm not getting it with the intention of playing, on that mini thing. It's basically a beautiful case that I could throw HDMI out to a screen and play it with
But to like get
controller.
Donkey Kong on there, you're gonna have to put like a Viper or Raspberry Pi in there and load it and have that in its track mode.
Yeah, I don't. I gotta be honest. I don't even think I'm going to use it to play any games. I'll probably be satisfied just throwing Donkey Kong on there and just having that thing on, looking nice somewhere in here.
That's what I do with mine. Like I very rarely play my New Wave toys. They're more just for the look and the feel of the arcade because you can hear them, you can see them, but you don't really play them. Most of what I play, and we'll talk about this next, is I play my AtGames Legends Ultimate a lot. That's what I probably play the most. But lately I've been playing a lot of my iiRcade again. I moved my iiRcade out of here into my living room where I have a little bit more room. So I have distance I can kind of move back, and I've been playing the light gun games again. And something interesting I wanted to share with you guys tonight is I actually have been playing around with my Senden because I didn't really like how heavy it was. You have a Senden light gun, don't you?
I do.
Yeah, I didn't really like how heavy it was with the solenoid, and I paid extra to have it have the solenoid built into it. But it makes the gun really heavy. So I opened up the Senden light gun today, and I took the solenoid out of it. So I paid like $60-$70 for this one part, and I've taken it out because it makes the gun so much heavier with that in there. And
you don't like the feel of the weight? Well, didn't you mess with Glenn's Senden Target Pro?
Yeah, I liked his Senden Target Pro a lot.
Got some
and I
weight.
think it has a solenoid in it, but when you're holding that gun, the shotgun stock with the two hands, and it's a lot better than holding the little pistol handgun.
It's true.
But it says,
usually when you're holding the handgun, like on the Senden, because of the way a lot of the games play, you're holding it, but at the same time you have your hand underneath the front, because a lot of times for reloading on some of the games you got to like cock the front of it on the bottom, that piece that moves. I did not see the point of buying a Senden if I didn't have the solenoid in it. I can admit there are times where I keep it off because that thing snaps really loud.
It's loud, yeah. Now on the iiRcade, you can't use the solenoid, right?
No, you can.
Okay, I've never been able to get it to work. Maybe is there a setting?
It's you just have to hold the direction button in a certain angle for a couple of seconds, and it will go into the single shot mode, and then I guess if you hold it more, it goes into the like machine gun rapid fire. But what happens with the Senden, and this is, I don't care what you play it on, if you're doing too much like with the machine gun type fire, it kind of like wears out, and then it takes a couple of seconds to like catch back up, and then it'll work again. But it's slow, like it'll be machine gun firing, and then it will just start slowing down to a stall.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so I haven't been using the recoil much. It's just so loud. It makes the handgun so much heavier. I just took it completely out. And if I easily want to add it back in, it's super easy. It's just like plugging in any joystick or button into the encoder board. It's just super easy to take in and out. So I took it out. But it even says here in their own website that this is a chunky solenoid, and it really is. It's like way too heavy for that little plastic, toy Senden gun. I think it works good in Glenn's Senden Target Pro because you're holding it with two hands and you've got the area for your shoulder to kind of put the stock into your shoulder. So I think that, and then that MX-24, the retro shooter gun that came out, I think it works good for that. But for just the pistol, Senden handgun, light gun, I don't need the recoil. So I'm kind of regretting getting that on mine.
Sell it to someone that doesn't have it. Can someone that doesn't have it stick that in theirs?
Yeah, absolutely.
So just sell it. Throw it up, or let people know.
That's what I was thinking about, putting it on eBay, or I was even thinking about on my own website, like starting like a a sell like area, like a store, and putting stuff that are like home arcade related on there and just selling them to people. Thought about
Someone
that as
buy
well.
Biggie D's little solenoid from his
Yeah, that'd be like my first
send-in.
product on there. But so your iArcade, have you been playing yours a lot?
Yeah, that would be a safe estimate to make, Biggie D.
I see it there
Every
playing in
day.
the back. You have two of them. You have
two
the
of 'em.
gold and you have the original. Which one do you play more?
Right now, I'm playing more on the Dragon's Lair. Obviously,
Okay.
you know why.
Yeah, you have
Um,
the mystery encoder mod on that one.
yeah, and the gold I
And the
keep
ultimate.
stock. I'm not messing with it. That's
Okay,
like
so
my
that one's
prized
completely
possession.
stock.
Yeah, completely stock.
And I know Phil, he's got the gold, and he's done the same thing. He's left his completely stock. He likes it the way it is.
Fine.
It's a great cabinet, and then you can mod the other one and play. I like that you have both because you can
Yeah.
do that.
And it's for me, it's not like I jumped into iArcade at the end. I was there since the beginning, so
Yes.
I have probably over 200 games on my gold.
Yeah, a little backstory for anyone that doesn't know Brooklyn's channel, but he was like one of the original iArcade like YouTubers or content creators, and he would like live in for this stuff. Like it was all your content was iArcade for
I
a
gotta
long
say,
time.
if it wasn't for iArcade, I probably would not have rebranded my channel into home arcade content. It was like I fell in love with that thing because I've had, an Arcade1Up since the first year they came out. But I never thought about, well, I did do a video on it when it first came out, like back in, I think like 2008. I did a video turning on my Arcade1Up and it not working. But I at that time, I didn't even know there was a community out there that covered this stuff. But once once I had that, like it immediately inspired me to want to do content on it, and having that HDMI out and being able to show the audience clear gameplay, that's what really inspired me to rebrand my channel, go down this road.
And now you're moving into Evercade to kind of supplement your content.
I wouldn't
and
say
do
I'm
that.
moving into it, because you can go back to old episodes of the iArcadians and you will hear me pushing Evercade back then. So I've been down with Evercade for a while too. It's not something I just found. I used to always tell the guys on the iArcadians that, if you like what they're putting out on iArcade, you're gonna love this thing called the Evercade. But like nobody really listened to me, except like I know Herb Wars. He's been down like with Evercade since day one. Kev Gret. So the three of us have been long-time Evercade owners.
Yeah. Now, just kind of back on the iArcade for a minute. So one of the reasons that I've been playing mine a lot lately and kind of like getting tired of playing the Legends Ultimate a little bit and kind of wanting a break from playing that so much is it has the widescreen on the Legends Ultimate. So it's not giving you that like 80s, 90s nostalgic arcade feel that I get when I'm on the iArcade, because it has that 4x3 screen and it's 19 inches and it just looks and plays like the retro classic arcade games really well. Like I had spent this week playing Cadillacs and Dinosaurs, and I got pretty much to the very end and I ran out of time, wasn't able to finish it. Still haven't beaten that game, but I'm going to go back into it probably this next week and try to beat it again, because that's an excellent beat 'em up, like an amazing beat 'em up game. And then I started getting into a Konami beat 'em up game right after that, which was a lot like X-Men. And I can't remember right off the top of my head what this one's called. Do you know which one I'm talking about? And you like your characters and you turn into beasts, like you turn into like wolves and tigers and stuff like that. And it's made by Konami.
Oh, the beat 'em up. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Just don't remember the name of the game.
I got to look it up. Metamorphic Force.
Metamorphic Force. There you go.
That game is so much fun. And I almost got through that one. I got all the way to like the last stage on that one and I ran out of time again. You really need like a good hour and a half, I think, to finish these beat 'em up games, because I was getting to the end but just short on time, so I wasn't able to finish it. But that's a great one. If you like X-Men beat 'em up games, Metamorphic Force is right up there. It's like just as good or if not better than X-Men.
Biggie, I totally agree with you. I'm like, I love my Legends Ultimate,
Hmm.
you know, but since we're able to put all these games on the iArcade, like that is 100% my preferred place to play it because the screen is the size of the games. You're just
Hmm.
looking at your arcade cabinet. The, so the Legends is awesome for the fact that, you know, yeah, it has the widescreen and that has its purposes because a lot of people's will they play their Steam games on it.
Hmm.
I'm not doing that. So it's like so on all their games they will have like the bezel. But what I
Hmm.
don't like is so they'll have the bezel and they'll have like the shape of a screen, but
Hmm.
the actual game is not behind it. So when you put the game into its proper perspective, you see it like it just looks like it's a picture over the bezel. It's not behind it.
Yeah, I know
So
what you're saying.
yeah, and that's that
And
little
I've
stuff
been
like that drives me crazy.
Yeah, and I've been playing just more modern stuff on my At Games Legends Ultimate lately because of that. I'm just not getting that experience that I want on the older stuff on it.
I would almost rather it just leave black bars on the side and I
Yeah.
just see the shape of the screen instead of having those bezels that they make around it. They are
Hmm.
starting to make bezels for the iArcade, but this is to the next level.
Hmm.
So for instance, like in Spy Hunter, which is a vertical game, you
Hmm.
have a bezel, but the bezel actually interacts with the game like it would have in the arcade. You don't see this anywhere. So
Oh, that's
when you
awesome.
would switch, have a certain weapon
Uh-huh.
on the in the bezel in the arcade, it would light up. They have it doing that.
Oh, that's
So the
really
bezel
cool.
is actually interactive.
So, how do you keep up to date on all this iArcade stuff? Because it's kind of a niche thing, and very
Um,
few of us probably, like compared to the whole
because
community,
it's
have one.
literally the first thing I do every day when I get home
Hmm.
is I immediately check in and see what's going on and then
Do you
continue
have
to
like a
do that maybe
Discord
like
or
10
something
times a
that you're
day.
getting that
Yeah, and
information
I've
from?
also put out, you know, I've also designed some, you know, layouts and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Put out some games on there.
Yeah, I normally, if I need something or I have a question, I'll reach out to you or Papa Brad. You guys seem to know everything on like what to do and how to fix stuff or set things up on the iArcade.
I'm pushing like I'm well over 2,000 games. I think
Oh
I'm
yeah,
starting to now push closer to like 2,500 games on there,
wow.
which is a problem
Yeah, because you can't
because
find anything.
you can't find it. It takes so long
Yeah,
to
that's why I didn't
cycle
put
through
that many
everything.
on mine. I probably only have like 200 games on mine.
Here's my idea, Biggie. This would be a crazy undertaking with over like almost 2,500 games. I was
Hmm.
thinking at this point, forget about categories like shooter, action. Just
Hmm.
do A through Z and put the games, you know, any A games into A, B games into B. I think it would be way easier. Just cycle through the letters and then the
Hmm.
list would be a lot smaller
Yeah,
because right now it's freaking crazy trying to find anything.
yeah. They got to. Someone's got to develop some type of menu system for the iArcade that'll
Well,
help us.
you would have to do it by yourself. You can actually go in and you just have to edit the config file
Hmm.
and there's a what in there there's category. You would just have to change that to a letter. That's why I'm saying it would be a big undertaking to do that because I'd have to literally go in to every single one of them and then re-push every game for it
Yeah,
to create that. So I'm probably never going to do it.
yeah. I've kind of gotten to the point where I'm at where I may add a game here or there, randomly, but it's going to be few and far between that I do that. I'm kind of complete with where I'm at on mine. I got a good amount of light gun games, got a good amount of beat 'em up games, fighting
Hmm.
games, to where it's just like an all around enjoyable multicade to have. And it'll be like one of those ones I keep forever, because it's just such a great setup the way I have it now with Glenn's deck and all that.
Yeah, it was so great to be able to have access to so many different light gun games. And as I was finding stuff, the games that were really working well, because I found a few that didn't, I got rid of those because now we could get rid of games, which was a game changer.
Hmm.
When I find ones that I really like, if I don't think they did the game justice with like the artwork, I'll go online, seek it out, find some like high res images or ways that I have found. Like some games you just can't find a good image to make the graphic, right?
Hmm.
Everything's low res, you try to make it bigger, it looks terrible. So
Hmm.
what I do, a little trick, is I will play the game and then through my capture card, and then on my capture card I could take photographs.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm getting a 1080p, higher res photograph straight from the game, and then I use that to go back in and make the artwork
Mm-hmm.
for the games.
So now on the top of the iArcade, I noticed you have a screen above yours, and you're just
Yeah.
like running that as like an attract mode screen, or what are you using that for?
Right now, I just use it. I made an attract mode for my show, so
Mm-hmm.
that just plays up there. It also at some points it was hooked up to the gold. It was hooked up to the Gen 1. Right now, I don't have it hooked to either of them. I just pretty much use it to if I'm playing a game, shows on. I like to watch everybody's show in the community.
Mm-hmm.
So I find it a lot of fun to just be playing, enjoying games, and then right above you got YouTubers on
Mm-hmm.
watching shows. So yeah, use it for that.
I was looking at these like little like marquee boxes that you can put
Hmm.
on top of your iArcade. Have you seen these?
I have, but I can't put one on because uh, of where I mounted my screen.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I
it
would
wouldn't
have
work.
to move it even higher. Yeah, so
Yeah, I was thinking about getting one of these, and they're a little bit pricey though. I think they're like almost $100. Yeah, this one's $125, so a little bit pricey. And this is definitely a custom type, setup. Like this guy's doing. I don't think he's doing a mass amount of these, so he's got to make a little money on each cell. But I was interested in getting one of these, just not at $125. But I'd come across something this week that I thought would set up pretty good there on the top of the iArcade, and it was. I got this from PD7. He made a video about it this week. It's like an X-Men light up sign. Did you see that video?
I did.
Yeah. This thing looks pretty cool, I thought. Let me see if I
Right
can
now, that's
bring it
like
up.
with the with things being so slow with
Mhm.
releases. You see a lot of people. They're just kind of like customizing their stuff, the
Oh
games
yeah,
that they
a
already
lot of
have.
people are doing that.
Yeah.
I thought this was cool though. Like you put it right on top and somehow kind of mount it on there so it doesn't move off or fall off, and just light that thing up when you're playing. I mean, I love X-Men. It doesn't fit that Retromania theme, but I love X-Men enough. I think I'd be okay with it. But yeah, talking about customization and mods and stuff. I mean, that is huge right now in the community because we don't have anything new coming from Arcade1Up. It's slow to get the stuff, I think, through AtGames because it's so dang expensive right now. And then, still waiting on like the Unico. So, but a bunch of people are modding their stuff. I've definitely been feeling that itch to start doing that. I was like thinking about just going ahead and lighting up all the coin doors. Have you done any of those coin door mods yet on yours?
I didn't because my Arcade1Up is the Atari 12-in-1, and that's when they were still putting the names of all the games on the front.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of think it would look silly to try to put a coin door over that.
Mm-hmm.
So I just kind of leave it. The only mod I've ever done on an Arcade1Up was something that I felt was a necessity to be able to play the games properly, and that was putting Glenn's spinner and trackball on the Atari 12-in-1. Because if you remember,
Mm-hmm.
when the 12-in-1 came out, someone had the genius idea of making the spinner not be able to spin. It clicked.
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to play like Tempest? You couldn't spin the spinner.
Mm-hmm.
It like every little movement, it clicked. So
Yeah.
for a while, I couldn't even play that game. And then that's kind of like where I first started hearing about Glenn.
Yeah,
And
so you got his trackball and you got his spinner for that Arcade1Up, and you did that
yeah,
mod.
dude, his spinner for that is ridiculous. It's a bigger spinner and it has so much weight to it.
Yeah.
And it just saved that cabinet.
So P-Dubs just sent over $2. I appreciate that $2, P-Dubs. He says, "Hey, Biggie D, give me that Retromania cab back. I bought mine from P-Dubs for $400.
Yeah, I remember.
I felt like I was paying a high price at that time because no one knew that any of this stuff was going to come out. No one knew we were going to be able to mod them and add games. No one knew Glenn was going to come out with this control panel I've got on screen and all this stuff. But I'm sure looking back on it, P-Dubs probably would have kept it, I think, if he had known all this. But I'm really happy with mine. And appreciate the $2, P-Dubs. And I would give it back to you if I could find another one, but they're hard to find right now. So
I remember when
probably won't be doing
everyone
that.
was like pissed when the golds came out, and especially when they put out Operation Wolf, and people were seeing us enjoying it without sit-ins, and they couldn't play it except with the joystick on the Gen 1s.
Uh-huh.
And the community was like up in arms. It was like 50-50, people going crazy, some people happy. And now look how that has changed. Like now everyone wants the Gen 1.
Yeah, everyone wants the one no one wanted.
Yeah, everybody wants the Gen 1 now.
And you'll see too, like big time creators like Michael B, who sold his and went back and bought it again. That just shows, how, I think, coveted these things are, and like how much people want them. Even people that sold theirs are going back to buy them again. So
yeah, it did. Like, I don't. It's hard for me to explain. Like, these things have like very big sentimental value to me. We had such great times with these when they were in business, and even with them no longer being in business, it's amazing seeing like what the community did to keep it alive. And now you're still seeing from time to time brand new games that are coming out that you can purchase for iArcade.
yeah.
That's the thing, is like the community is really trying to steer it towards, like, they're trying to get the attention a lot of these companies making modern retro, saying, look, this is another platform where people will pay for your games. So you're starting to see a couple, like, but mostly from the companies that were already working with iArcade, because they know what it is. So I think it's probably a kind of like a difficult sell, saying, yeah, how would you like to put your game on this arcade? Well, the company's no longer in business, but there's people out there that would like to play your game on there.
Now, talking about like modding these, and we're using the Mystery Encoder mod with that a custom arcade little what were we calling that? It was like an attachment we would put on the board. And I can't remember what that thing was called, what the name of that was, but you had to buy just a little part, and then Mystery Encoder had a mod you could install on it, made it really easy. But it sounds like, P-Dub sent over the $2. I wanted to mention his channel, because coming up here very soon, he's going to have a live stream, and they're going to teach everyone how to mod and do a lot of what we're doing on the iArcade, but with pinball on the new 4K AtGames pinball machine. So that's really cool, opening that up and side-loading, pinball games onto that. Did you see that coming up?
Yeah, I heard what he had to say, like, at the end of his show, that stay tuned because you're going to be able to run stuff, and he just picked up a memory card right through this. So, yeah, it's got my interest, but I don't have the 4KP.
Yeah.
I have the Legends HD, so I don't know if
I wonder if the Legends HD will be open to this. I don't think it'll run those tables, though, because they're having problems running them on the new board.
Well, here's the thing. If it's running it through the memory card, then what does it matter? Right? If the game, I don't know.
So let's run a quick super chat video for the $2. I appreciate that, P-Dubs. So we've got, the Ultimate Control Panel. We both have those on our iArcade. I'm enjoying, the buttons. The joysticks are great. I love the 4-way, the 8-way gate switcher. What else?
That alone makes it worth it.
Yeah, and then I'm liking the USB ports on the front, being able to plug the sending gun in directly to the front, loading it up real quick, and being able to play light gun games. Now, one couple of things I'm not getting so much enjoyment out of that are part of this Ultimate Control Panel that Glenn put out for the iArcade is the trackball is great, the spinners are great, but I don't have a lot of games on my iArcade that are utilizing those controls. And some of the games that don't play that great. Have you come across that?
So, all right, so there's a couple of things. Number one, obviously, you like some of these games, you can get them, you have to then push a separate config file. But there's one other thing that's really important. There is a trackball sensitivity fix, which is very simple. You put it in your computer, you run it, and that alone is game changer. I help somebody out with that, a viewer hit me up, and I might have been talking about it during my show, and they said that they're having that issue, so I hooked them up with it, and they thanked me because it fixed it. It fixes the sensitivity of it, makes it perfect.
Okay, so I've got to do some more work then. That's the one thing about, getting into this modding and like doing your custom multicades and programming and setting them all up is figuring out all this stuff and having to do that. But that's another thing I'll have to learn is how to customize and do these config files to make sure the trackball is working right.
Were you finding that like you really like on the trackball, you were really having to roll it a lot for it to even have much of a you just got to do the trackball fix. It's literally put a file in there and run it. And
I'll have to get with you one day here this week, and you'll have to help me with that. Brooklyn's helped me quite a few times with trying to figure some little things out along the way with this iiRcade. But if you guys can somehow find one of these used, know that they're out there. Or maybe you could even find a brand new one still in box, like through a retailer.
It's weird, brand new ones still pop up.
Yeah, I've seen new ones still out there.
And then you see people that not everybody is as involved as we are, like being on like YouTubers in this community. I still see people asking the question, hey, are they still in business, or can I still get games from the store for this? So, not everybody knows, and a lot of people miss the boat on getting the mod, the board.
Now, moving forward, we got new stuff coming out. Now, my budget for like new stuff is pretty limited. I can't get into this new 4K pinball machine. It sounds like you haven't made the jump yet either. What's holding you back?
Because all right, here's the thing. Like, it's awesome, right? But the way I set up my 4K HD, how like you have the choice where you can either have the games where they're linked to your account, or you can have it where they're linked to the cabinet. I linked my boards to the cabinet. So if I got rid of this, I'm losing every table that I have. I have every single table they put out. So that's number one. Number two, it plays fine. It is, the 4K, like everything about it, like the feedback on the flippers, everything is way better. The shape of it, but this gets the job done. And if I got that, then I would have to figure out where's this going? I'd have to get rid of it.
Now, so, I would say with that, just keep it. I've seen a lot of people have both. Yeah, like Papa Brad, he has the HD, then he's got the 4K right next to it.
They take up a decent amount of space in your home arcade.
That is true.
Have two of them. Like I said, I've been going in the opposite direction.
You're trying to unclutter.
Dude, at one point, like literally, I almost couldn't have any space in between all the cabinets. They just went. I couldn't even have the pinball machine on an angle like it is now. It had to be perfectly straight. So, yeah, man, I just got rid of a few cabinets and I spaced everything out. I can enjoy the artwork, which I love so much, on the sides, of the cabinets. And yeah, like I said, I feel like I can breathe in here. I do have I have a little
So in order to get the 4K,
ready for the Alpha though, Biggie D.
Oh, the Evercade Alpha?
Yeah, I'm doing something special for that. I was actually in Home Depot today already, with the measurements. I'm going to be building like floating, because I did the brick in here, so I'm going to do like floating wooden like shelves.
Okay.
I'm going to do one that's going to put the Alpha at the same height
as your arcades.
The other ones. Yeah, and I'm going to sit on my arcade stool in front of it. And then I'm going to do another one that goes across the whole back, almost to a little bit before the TV. And I have every single Evercade cartridge and every system they've put out, every limited edition, handheld, everything.
So
I'm going to have a little Evercade museum.
About Evercade, because I haven't talked about it a lot on this channel. I mean, I've mentioned it here or there, but I haven't done like a deep dive into these yet. And I haven't purchased one yet. And we were talking a little bit about this before the stream. And the one I'm most interested in getting into is this EXPR. Now, this was just delayed, wasn't it? Like it was supposed to come out
already? It's delayed 1 month.
Okay.
Shipping delays and I guess, or manufacturing delays. So
So will
they're
we
going to
be able
just
to
drop
buy
everything a
this
month later.
next month?
Yeah, you can get it right now. It's
So
only
I have to go
99
through
bucks for
like
that.
one of these retailers I've never heard of, but maybe I could go through Amazon.
You can go through. Yeah, you go. Well, I use Funstock all the time for my
Okay.
stuff. That's where you need to be if
Hmm.
you are like heavily into Evercade like me, because Funstock always they're the only place that gets the exclusive stuff.
Hmm.
Uh,
Now, if I wanted to get
which
one
makes it
like next month, is Amazon going to have it on their
yeah,
website?
100%. These aren't going to be like limited. This is just replacing the original model.
Hmm.
All right. So that, and what they've done is, I like the look. It's not like super retro looking, but
Hmm.
I love the gray with those turquoise buttons. I like the style of it. They just basically removed some of the functions that were built into the first EXP, and
Hmm.
which is they removed the mini HDMI out, because you used to be able to just, if that was the only Evercade product you had, you could just use that as a controller, mini HDMI out to a TV screen, and then you're using that as a controller and play your games on the big
So
screen.
this one I cannot plug into the
You cannot
TV.
do that, and it does not have, like the original EXP. It does not have the Capcom library built into it.
Okay, I can get I can be okay with not having the Capcom library. I've got plenty of ways to play those games, but what really got me interested in getting into this was this Tomb Raider collection, because I
Hmm.
was big into playing this on the computer back in the day, and I actually never finished 2 or 3, so it'd be a good opportunity to finish those.
Yeah.
Also, doing it at the same time our community's doing it, we're all buying them at the same time. We can kind of share our stories and experiences playing Tomb Raider again.
Yeah.
So I was going to
That's
get
going to come
one.
with it, which is nice.
But with this setup, I've got to play it, on the handheld. I can't play it on the TV.
So think about it. That cartridge, all right, that's one of the new Giga carts
Hmm.
to fit those 3 games on it. Those are like $23 to $25 for
Hmm.
the Giga carts. So it's almost like you're getting the handheld for 75 bucks.
Yeah, so not bad. Pretty decent price, especially since those super pockets. We were talking about those as well. These are 60 for these,
This thing was a lifesaver last weekend.
and these are readily available, easy to
Readily
find.
available, and I'm hearing right now this particular one, the Taito, is on sale for 49 bucks. So come on.
Oh, nice. So $50, you can get one of these now. Play all the carts on it. Kind of get you by for a handheld.
You
But I
can,
think I think
but
for
I've been
me,
enjoying just the built-in games on it.
yeah. Now that for me, I like the Atari one because it came with like 50 games, and a
Hmm.
lot of these are like even some of the newer ones, like the Lynx games, um, full color. Like a little bit more modern than the older Atari games. So I would probably be most interested in this one. I like that it comes with like tons, like 50 games with this one.
So
But
saying that you're interested means that you did not get one of the
I didn't get one.
2600 limited editions.
I think I'm still waiting on
I
the
have 2. I'll sell you
EXPR.
my second one for $1,000, Biggie. I'll give you a special deal.
No,
No, you know
I
what?
think
I
this is
changed
the
my
one.
mind. No, 2600. Just to
I'm
keep
not
it
liking
with the
the
amount
look of the ones, the mega. What are those called? Hyper Mega Tech
yeah.
Pocket Player. I'm just not liking the look of those. I like the sleek black look on this one, and this I think is finally the one I'll get. And then
Well,
I'll end up obviously starting a collection of Evercade carts as well.
I think the reason why they have a different brand on these is
Hmm.
because the whole point of Evercade from day one was it was all physical cartridges. That was the only way you can play games. There was no built-in games. That built-in game started when the EXP came out, and that was
Hmm.
actually a surprise. People had already pre-ordered them, and then Evercade said we are going to make an announcement. I think it was like in September, which was like a couple months after of a surprise,
Hmm.
and that was the announcement. And it was met with, I was fine with it, and then it was met with a little bit of hostility because some people saw that as they were going against what the whole point of the Evercade was, because
Hmm.
the games were built into the handheld. They weren't on a cartridge. Um, I think that's why they have the Hyper Megatech name for these, because these are all built-in games.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have your, look in the back, you got your cartridge slot. And when you're not using it, if you want it to match, you pop in this little fake cartridge they give you.
Nice. So
I
you
did not
guys
think
are,
I'd be able to play this because I felt like the screen was going to be too small.
Mm-hmm.
I got to say, no issue.
Okay, so you're happy with the screen quality and all that for 60,
I was
50
playing
bucks.
this thing today. I was playing it yesterday. I brought my son to a birthday party, and while he was doing his thing, I was sitting there on the bleachers with this, playing like Operation Wolf.
So it's hard to
It's
imagine, like we were talking about the iiRcade just a couple weeks ago here on this channel. The iiRcades that you find that are like the pocket players, those run like 30 bucks. So you're really not that much more expensive getting the Evercade. It's only like 20 bucks more if you get that Taito one you were saying that's on sale right now for 50, and you can open it up to adding cards to it. So it's like not much more expensive than those little iiRcade, ones that you can find at like CVS.
These are very well made. Nice screen for the size.
Mm-hmm.
I have found a way to really take advantage of the screen. I can see it regularly, but if I wear contacts, but if I like pop on like a low res like reading glasses on top, it's like crystal clear.
Oh,
you can
nice.
really see everything.
Yeah, I've heard nothing about good things about these little pocket players, Hyper Mega Tech, but I'm gonna wait for the EXPR. I think that'll be my entry into this Evercade, and then I may or may not get the Alpha. I kind of want to wait and see y'all's reviews and the feedback on them early on before I go in and get one of those as well. But one thing I'd like to see Evercade do, especially if everyone jumps on the bandwagon and we're all buying these and the whole home arcade community ends up getting Evercade stuff, is because I even heard 19K Fox talk a long time tonight about Evercade. So I think it's not just, your channel and Papa Brad's channel and the Evercadians, things like that are interested in this stuff. I think a lot of people in our community are. But what I'd like to see them do if this takes off is have like an online platform for them, where we can play all these retro games online with each other. Do you think that'll ever be possible or ever come from them?
I know it's something that people want, but I think they had mentioned that it's almost like a different license to have games online, so
probably unlikely.
I just think I like what they're doing. And other companies should take note. They will literally put out their schedule for the whole year, and you'll see two cartridges, because they always put out two cartridges at once. Then you'll see new hardware, two more cartridges, and they just put question marks. And you see, so I already know, we have a bunch more cartridges coming out before the end of the year, and now they're putting little hints of what they might be. I like that. I like seeing that whole year schedule.
Yeah.
You still have that excitement, but you could see, wow, there's going to be a lot going on this year. The new Super Pockets, those just came out of left field.
Yeah, that was just a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I was immediately.
So Papa Brad just sent over $5. So that's a huge super chat. Really helps out the channel a lot, Papa Brad, when you send over just $1 or $2, but $5, that's huge, man. I appreciate it. He says, imagine if a channel existed that covered just Evercade with Brooklyn Menace. So what he's referring to, guys, if you want to go check it out, is Evercadians. Maybe we can get a mod, Steps, or Jason can put the link for Evercadians in the chat. But they're covering this. They just started their channel. They just broke 100 subscribers. So it's going to be, what are you guys doing? Live streams and videos on that channel?
We did one, I would say, more official Evercadian show. The second one was more to, when they announced the new Super Pockets. We jumped on and did a show. So, channel's still relatively new, so pretty surprised it already hit 100 subscribers this fast.
Yeah, that's
we're trying to just keep it it's literally, you're not going to see anything else on there but Evercade. And right now you might see some of the videos on my channel, on Brad's channel. That is only being done right now to just get, to let people know where to go. But eventually everything's just going to be exclusive on the Evercadian channel.
Very cool. Let's run a quick super chat video for Papa Brad and that $5. Appreciate that, and helping the channel out. So let's quickly go through these games here that I got pulled up. So are there any in this list of like existing games for the Evercade that you recommend or people should really try and get?
Yeah, so go up. Full Void right there. That was the first. If you go down, Full Void was the first ever single player cartridge. The one that you're on right now,
Mm-hmm.
Good Boy Galaxy and Witch and Wiz, also great. Right next to it, Demons of Astaborg and Astabros,
Mm-hmm.
great cartridge. You gotta get the Duke
The
Nukem
Duke
collections.
Nukem, yeah, those are
What
the
they
ones I would have to get because I played these on the computer growing
Well,
up.
here's the reason why you get, especially that Duke Nukem 1,
Mm-hmm.
is because you have like an Evercade exclusive. They remastered 1 and 2.
Oh, did
And
they? Okay.
they're in widescreen format now, and the graphics are crystal clear, but you can switch back to playing it in the original style if you like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, check it out, like what they did with it.
Yeah, I'll have to, get one of. If I get one of these, this will be definitely a card I'll have to get is the Duke Nukem, for sure. And then I saw some others in there too that are interesting. And then there's some that like are like indie games, like ones
Those
you
aren't
probably
out
never
yet.
heard of.
Yeah, no, all the indie collections are great. Obviously, you see 3 has Donut Dodo on it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm expecting to see more also games from them like that Cash Cow.
Do these
I wouldn't
play
be
as
surprised if that
good as what you're experiencing playing these on like your iArcade or other?
Oh yeah,
platforms?
100%. I'm playing with a 8-bit Dell arcade stick.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and then I can also, some of the games don't play well. They don't translate well to arcade sticks, especially some of the 3D platformers. So with those, I could just go to the hand controller, and you can actually plug in any controller that you have. You have a USB cord, you could throw your Xbox controller in there. They just
See,
work right
these
out of the
Atari
box.
Lynx games, like these are the ones I'm really interested in, and the ones I want to buy and play because I never had the Lynx growing up, but it was one of those handhelds I always wanted. So I think
Yeah.
this is really cool that they're bringing these.
I messed around. There was a couple. I liked it. I don't have like the nostalgia for the Lynx games because I also didn't have a Lynx, but
Mm-hmm.
there was a few that I was highly enjoying.
So they're teasing like 4 new carts that are coming. Do you have any idea of what those are going to be?
They're not teasing. They are
Oh,
coming.
okay.
So you have 2 right there at the top, which are the next 2. Those will be dropping at the same time
Oh, I see.
when
New
the alpha
releases.
comes out. The other 2 that you see there are the ones that just got delayed. They were supposed to be coming out on the 31st. Now they'll
Mhm.
be coming out at the end of August. And we still have 4 more.
What do you think
cartridges
those
coming.
4 are going to be?
It's weird. They're saying that I forgot the exactly how they worded it, but they did say that people like are going to be extremely happy
Mhm.
with I think like 2 or 3, and then one's going to be more of like kind of like more of like an eclectic, if you want to put it in those words, collection.
Mhm.
Something that, but I don't know. I know that Konami has been something that
Oh man, that'd be
people have been
huge.
screaming. SNK.
Yeah, that would be
I
good
think
too.
that they kind of made it clear that there was going to be another Giga card coming out before the end of the year. So, um, RTG85 told me that he wouldn't be surprised to see a Resident Evil collection of the
Oh
first
man, that'd be
couple of
huge.
games.
Now Capcom though, they don't. It would have to be like on the actual handheld, right? It wouldn't be like a cart if they do Capcom like Resident Evil.
Um, that's the thing. Maybe it's different with like some of those more modern games.
Yeah,
Maybe they
like
could
if
put
it's
it
a
on a
PlayStation
cartridge.
port, they can do it.
But also you got to think like if they're getting like the Tomb Raider collection, think of like some other games from like Eidos Interactive. With those
Hmm.
weren't. That's where when the Tomb Raider first came out. That's what they were under.
Yeah, those games were
Um,
huge back then.
yeah, I think they have like a new connection to get those games. So who knows what else they can wind up getting. I don't even
And
care. I half the time I could care less about even speculating because I'm
mhm.
just getting them all anyway, no matter what they are.
Are you buying
And I,
everything you can,
yeah,
pretty much?
100%. Yeah,
I saw Papa Brad's buying them all. He's like got it. He's pretty
he
much completed the
he
collection.
he's like Yeah, he really, I've been, gotta say, I talk to Brad every day. And so
Hmm.
Brad can confirm, like, I would be driving these guys crazy with Evercade. I'd be sending them videos at like 2 in the morning of me playing games. Um, and then it was the alpha. It was the alpha that did it for him.
Hmm.
And just the anticipation of that, he couldn't wait. He wound up grabbing. He originally did get a Founders, but unfortunately, the one he got was having power issues.
Hmm.
So right now, then he went and got the Super Pocket. So
Hmm.
he's heavily enjoying it.
And yeah, that's great. I'm looking forward to what Evercade's got coming. I mean, towards the end of this year, it's going to get really exciting for Evercade with everything they've got coming, especially the alpha, because I think that Countercade really fits into the home arcade community and what we're really interested in. So I think just towards the end of this year, Evercade's going to become a big part, I think, of the home arcade scene and the news that comes out. But I did want to finish and kind of wrap up the stream with some AtGames talk. And I know we kind of talked a little bit about it, touched on it, that you haven't bought the 4K. You've got the HD pinball, you love it. You've got the AtGames Legends Ultimate, you love that. But let's talk a little bit about the 4K pinball and what's coming from them. So the Zen tables, they're not running so great on this new 4K pinball. Do you think that's deterring you a little bit from getting one or paying a bunch of money to
Not
get one?
not at all, because you still have OTG mode.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then you can display them. Especially if you have a powerful enough computer to run it, you can
Mm-hmm.
probably play them in 4K just fine. No, it's not. It's not what deterring me. It's just at some point you just have to say, all right, you know, what am I going to keep buying these things, and then a couple of years later, a better one comes out, and then you get that one, and a couple of years later, with technology, it just keeps advancing. You can't keep up.
Yeah, I know
Something.
what you're saying. It's like, are we going to every few years buy the newest product, and are these things going to keep getting more and
Yeah,
more
something
expensive?
always better is going to be coming out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you what you have is working fine and you're enjoying it, and it's not like I'm have the 4K like by the side so I can see what I'm missing out on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fine. I'm good. It's a retro arcade, so but yeah, I'm missing out on all these cool modern pinball. The pinball M is what's really got me, but I can technically do that on here. And if I really wanted to up the resolution, you see buy stuff, they have the whole mod kit where you can basically redesign the whole frame inside, and they tell you what 4K screens that you can buy that have higher refresh rates
Mm-hmm.
that you can pop in there. And then they make it easier to do the OTG. And
Mm-hmm.
then there you go. You got your 4K, but you're just not going to have the great feedback and that great sound system that you can add on.
Mm-hmm.
I hear with that sound system that you actually can almost like hear where the ball is on the table. That's got to be incredible.
Yeah, the SSF kit is like a must buy, I'm hearing. And it's something like I've already decided on. If I get one, I'm going to get the
Yeah, you
SSF
have
kit.
to have it.
And it would just be incomplete, I feel like, without it. And that's what I keep hearing. Everyone that's been around one of these or got to play one or owns one, they're all just like, this is something different, something big that we haven't had in any of our home arcade stuff before. It's like you walk up to it, it's super premium. The sound that's coming off of it's booming. It's like a big attraction in your arcade. And something that I'm gonna get. It's just a matter of time. When am I gonna get it? And I just saw that Jason, he gifted 5 memberships. I really appreciate that, Jason. That really helps the channel out a lot in not only supporting us, but also giving people the benefit of the emojis and the badges and, helping that, if they continue their memberships, that helps support the channel as well. So Calvin Wong got one. Papa Brad's Gaming got one. Leo, Pixelated Traveler, and Kevlar's FPV Adventures got one as well. So I appreciate that, Jason. That's really helpful. And let's run a super chat video for Jason and his.
What? You don't have a membership video, Biggie?
I don't have a membership video. I got to make one. That's a good idea.
I got to thank Jason too. You know, I was watching.
Cut you off
Like how
mid
Biggie
sentence.
just
Sorry
cut
about
me
that.
off. Oh, that's fine.
But what were you gonna say?
I was thanking Jason as well because I was like to check out like the replay of my show for the chat room, because the chat room is almost like its own separate show, and I realized I had actually missed out that he had gifted 5 memberships on my last show as well.
Oh,
thanks,
nice.
Jason.
Yeah, I
What
try
kind of
to
perks
catch
do you
it.
have for your members, Biggie D?
For the perks, we've got badges, which I just made, custom badges that go from 1 month all the way to 2 years. And then I've also got new emojis as well. So we got some pretty cool ones. I've got an iiRcade. You guys have iiRcades will like that emoji. So check that out. Also, you know, with the chats, I try to look for the members too and try to bring their chats up whenever possible. But that's about all I've got right now for that. And then I'm at 99 cents. I'm at the lowest tier or the lowest price to enter in as well, just to kind of make it easy on everyone if they want to be a
cool.
member. And
I charge $500 per
Oh,
membership.
500.
Yeah.
I know they do like $5. I think 5 is the max that you can do. Maybe you can do more. I don't know.
No, you could probably do more.
But yeah, that's cool when Jason does that. He's always not only being a moderator, but he's helping support our channels a lot of the times with like memberships and things like that. So it's huge.
Every time I get members, it's a lot more editing work because I re-edit the intro from my show every week. And, you know, I have the arcade that comes in the beginning, and every one of my members comes up in the marquee, all animated and stuff. So I have
That's
to
nice.
completely I have to check the members list every week and then re-edit
Update it.
that. Yeah.
Let's take a look here at this July calendar, because this kind of gives us a roadmap here for the rest of this month. And next week is the last couple of weeks have kind of been limited to the owners of like the pinball machines, because they've been doing the Flipper Friends tournament, and then they've been doing the trivia, which are just winning prizes for like the pinball machines. So a lot of us that haven't bought yet weren't too interested in that stuff, but it starts to get interesting next week. We've got My Little Pony. That pinball pack will come out. Then the following week, Garfield. And then we've got the Natural History 2-pack finally coming out. Another Cell at the end of the month. And then finally finish out July with Godzilla versus Kong. So some pretty good pinball packs coming up, and hopefully some good deals on some stuff. Are you interested in any of these Zen table? And you said you've been playing Zen pinball. What have you been
My
playing
Little
on?
Pony. That's it for me. Anything Godzilla. And I have said that where it will be really tough for me if they ever did any kind of Godzilla skin on one of these 4KPs, man, it's going to be rough, Biggie D.
I would love to see them do a Godzilla skin, and like at the end of the month, that'd be perfect timing for them to do it. And supposedly they got a bunch of them coming. It's like you'd think they would release one here or there, and it's been a while since we've gotten one. You know, Attack from Mars was several months ago, so it'll be good to see, can they put one out here this month?
You know, they come out with that Godzilla, like my HD just might accidentally fall out the window all the way down. But I don't know what happened.
Make a little room for it. And Rexer Show, he's in the chat, and he's saying My Little Pony, been waiting for that one. Everyone's joking about that one.
Look, it's colorful, you know. I think it has a good look. And do people realize that there are like My Little Pony fanatics out there? I've seen actual documentaries on the fandom behind My Little Pony.
Oh,
So
yeah.
somebody is happy.
If the table looks good and it
Table
plays
looks cool.
good, I wouldn't care what the license is really, because it's just pinball at the end of the day. So it's like I would probably play it if it looks and plays good.
I mean, I might be more of like a Texas Chainsaw Massacre pinball guy, you know, more than the My Little Pony, but
Yeah, you had mentioned Pinball M. Where are you playing Pinball M on?
I'm not.
Oh, you're not
I'm
playing.
watching other people playing it,
Oh,
crying.
okay. It's a lot of fun. I play it on my Switch. I've got, what is it? I've got Chucky, and I've got The Thing on my Switch. And I really like playing those on there. And they look really good, actually, on the Switch. A lot of times they don't, but the pinball M tables do. And then I've got Duke Nukem on my PS5. And then I haven't gotten the Texas Chainsaw Massacre yet, but I'll probably pick that up at some point.
Table. I've had the Vibs board since I bought the thing. It came with it. I bought like a holiday package. It came with every pinball pack available at that time, plus all the ones that it came with the Gottlieb tables. It came with the arcade stick controller to add on to it, and it came with the Vibs board. And that was the only thing I never installed.
Yeah, so we've been doing pinball tournaments. You got to get into playing some Zim pinball with us. Who started this was Arcade Talk. So T. McCloskey,
Again,
Papa Brad on Thursday nights.
Players too.
Yeah, they've been really hitting it hard, making these tournaments every week and making them accessible to everyone and making videos and all that, promoting them. So I got in on it too and started doing this last week, and we picked Indiana Jones. And we did pretty well. We had quite a big turnout, I thought, and it was very competitive. And I made just a short video for that. Let's take a look at this together here. I'll mute it so we're not hearing the music. But this is the scores, and I just wanted to review this with everyone. And I'll do this at the end of each week. So this week we've got a new table. We're doing Doom. And I've noticed a lot of people are already playing Doom like crazy. We've got like 24 people playing already. So I'll do another video like this again on Thursday of this upcoming week. And we'll go through the scores again during the live streams each week, just to show everyone's scores. So let's look at this week, which is Indiana Jones. So we had a total of 23 participants in our first pinball tournament for Biggie D's Arcade. The roll was normal, and I'm told by Gregory I should have picked Classic, so I did do Classic this week for Doom. I finished in 18th place, so not too good for me. I got a lot of work to do. I'm really enjoying pinball, but I've got a lot of work to get better. So let's look at this. So 23rd was Amigo 600 with 82 million. We've got Calv Unicum 91 million in 22nd place. We got Steve with 116 million in 21st place. Checkout Girl, which I think is Gregory's wife or girlfriend, 133 million in 20th place. Gayo King, which is 149 million in 19th place. There I am, Biggie D. I've got my avatar now with my logo to make it easy for you guys to find me on there. Bruno 15477 had 157 million. Herb Wars, you're friends with Herb Wars. He was there at the event with you recently. Also, did you meet Checkout Girl as well when you were there? Okay, cool.
If that's Gregory's.
Yeah. So you've met a couple of the people on the leaderboard here at the recent convention, but Herb Wars has 172 million in 16th place. And let's move on up here. I know I saw some people in the chat were on here, like Carl O. We're about to see Papa Brad come up here once we move up. So 15th place is Arcade Talk. So that's T. McCloskey, guys. He had 175 million. Robot Scott had 176 million in 14th place. There's Papa Brad in 13th place with 181 million. Very good, Papa Brad. Almost made that top 10. High scores on tap with 213 million. Now, keep in mind, guys, that I did limited attempts. So I limited to only 10 attempts. So you can't go unlimited and just keep getting better and better scores. You're going to have at least some experience or practice going into the tournament to get a decent score, because you only have 10 attempts to try to do that. I think that makes it a little more competitive.
Does it show what people are playing on, or and what is your opinion on people playing on different formats? Do you think it's easier on a console than it is playing on the actual, like a Legends pinball?
So the FX will show you what system or platform they're on, and you'll notice a lot of the high scores on FX are playing on PlayStation. So it may be easier to play it with the controller. Also, you do have different views on the PlayStation where you can really zoom in.
You can kind of really see more of the 3 dimensions of the table.
Yeah, maybe that's benefiting some people on the console, like the PlayStation, and they're getting higher scores. I can't say that for a fact, but I've seen like a trend where the PlayStation people are tend to be higher on the leaderboard. So that may be coincidence. I don't know. We've got Inky's owner. That is Carl O, I've learned. So if you guys were wondering who that is Carl O in the chat. I saw him earlier. And he's got 213 million in 11th place. Now we're getting into that top 10. And GE Gaohan, 217 million. I'm going to butcher some of these names. Don't even know how to pronounce some of them. Dean Holcraft is 221 million in 9th place. Phantom 24, 222 million in 8th place. SNK 13, 268 million in 7th. If anyone's in the chat and these are your usernames and we haven't recognized you, put your name in the chat and we can let everyone know you're in here if your name doesn't match, like your YouTube name doesn't match what's in FX3.
I go by My Little Pony Fanboy. I don't think I'm on the leaderboards this week.
We'll look for you there. Kadash, 315 million in 6th place. So you notice how everything's like in this like 100 million, 200, 300 million. Now it really gets interesting when you get into the top 5 because you see some like crazy scores at the very top. So 5th place is Eric XX80 with 363 million. Animal 396 million in 4th place. So at almost 400 million. Now our top 3, Gregory, very highly competitive in this virtual pinball world. He's at 442 million in 3rd place. Skid Row, 511 million. So $500 million there. And then Senso 2245 with 1.262 billion points. So he just more than doubled up the 2nd place person with 1.262 billion points. So that's crazy. Like I want to know what Senso 2245 is doing differently than everyone else to be able to double up the next closest person. How do you explain that?
Cheating.
Yeah, I don't know if there are cheats or hacks.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't think you can cheat in any of these.
I don't
games.
think you can either. I
and
think
what would even be the
point,
really good.
Yeah.
Biggie on the HD when I got it and started playing. So they have a feature when it's hooked up online that you can actually, when you're playing a table, you can see the high score players, like their scores popping up on the screen. Mm-hmm. I literally had to turn it off because I was getting depressed. I was like, how? Like, I just shoot the ball and then it drains right down the center.
So I don't let any of that bother me. Like, I just have fun with it. I enjoy like the competitiveness, but I also enjoy just like the community and people coming together to compete and
get good.
I just enjoy that part of it too. Like if I'm good, it's secondary. Really just being a part of the group and doing something together is more important to me, and bringing everyone together to do something fun. So this is the tournament we have going on this week, guys. If you haven't joined already, you'll have till Thursday to get your high score in. So plenty of time left. Just search Biggie D, very simple, 4Gs on FX3. Make sure it's FX3, which Doom is easy because it's only on FX3, so you can't get that confused. And I went with Classic this week at the direction or recommendation of Gregory, and we did extra balls enabled, and you'll have 10 attempts and no passwords. So go check this out. Play it on your Nintendo Switch, play it on PlayStation, Xbox, or Steam. And I guess the only other thing I kind of wanted to discuss with you tonight and cover, Brooklyn, to kind of finish out was, we were looking at that calendar, and I had made a graphic which had showed the pinball tables that were coming, and we had marked a lot of them off the list. I'd gone over this with the last special guest I had, which was Moat and PD7, and we had looked over this graphic here because this is part of the buying for me, is what do they have coming, and and is something coming that's big enough for me to go ahead and spend the $2,000, and nothing yet has come out that's done that for me yet. But a lot of these are getting really interesting. Like the Jurassic World, I think, is huge. I love Jurassic World Pinball or Jurassic Park Pinball. And then that theme just really fits pinball tables, I think, in general. And then the Universal with the Back to the Future. I think that one's key and huge for them.
I have
is
that
to
in
get
VR.
that out.
The Universal packet has Jaws, Back to the Future.
Has Jaws as well. Yeah. And
One
it's got
thing
the
I
ET.
wish that they wouldn't have abandoned. They have not. They, they put out the main VR program with you got a bunch of tables, and then they did that Universal expansion pack, and they have done nothing, and that thing's been out for years. And I gotta say it, Zen in VR is so much fun because it's not only like it's so cool playing the tables in front of you, but the fact that every single table that you play, like if you're playing The Walking Dead, you got zombies trying to break into the house outside, they're around the table. So having that whole element in VR. Oh yeah, they did Star Wars too. That was like a separate.
So do you think like playing your pinball in VR is like gotten to where it's as good as like playing
Best way
like
to
a
play
physical
it, in my
pinball machine?
opinion. Yeah, I mean,
Is it tricking your mind enough to where like you really get that enjoyment out of it?
you do, and it really feels it's so clear. Like you can even just move your face down to the table. You could see all the dimensions, all the ramps. It's not like look, you see everything. And then, like I said, plus the element that the whole room around you, things are happening that have to do with the pinball table, make it that much better. Like when you play Jaws, you're standing on a little dock, and there's water by your feet, and Jaws will be coming out of the water, right next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So
things
that's
like that. It's cool.
I haven't made the jump to VR yet. I haven't done it. I don't know why. What's keeping me from doing it? Something about being like immersed in this headset and having
You'll love it.
the whole thing be the game that I'm seeing and feeling and experiencing. I don't know. I want to be old school still and like look at a screen.
Well,
So I haven't done the jump.
You make the jump, especially with the Meta 3. I always say that if you're jumping into VR, that's a great starting point because I really think people get a lot of enjoyment out of a lot of the mixed reality stuff they're doing.
The
It's a
VR
whole
is
new
still
world,
kind of
Biggie D.
expensive. It's kind of expensive still too, though. It's like
Nah, it's
over
not that bad.
$500 for the headset.
No, I hear they're on sale right now.
Oh, are they? Like the Meta? It's called the Meta.
Even the Meta 3. Yes.
Yeah, I almost bought the PSVR 2 last year around this time. I almost got one.
I love that too. I play, like people always call me the VR guy too. Now they call me the Evercade guy.
Yeah, your expertise is in a lot of stuff.
But
Evercade,
VR is like, I love
AtGames.
I do most of my live streams through the PSVR 2 because I like to be able to stream things in good quality for people to watch in 1080p, 60 frames per second, and the viewers get a really good look. PSVR 2 helped me turn so many people onto VR. They were watching my streams and seeing what they were missing. Because I've been doing VR streams for many years, but with the Meta, that's the one thing where they're lacking. They really need to step up and stop with the only being able to, go to Facebook. They need to get more. They need to get it where you can just stream to YouTube way easier, where you don't have to do 50 steps.
Yeah, I've seen though, like what you're talking about. So it seems like you're leaning more to trying to get your pinball like fun and experience from your VR headset rather than going in and with AtGames and spending the whole $1,500, $2,000 for that setup.
Yeah, it's just that they stopped. They're not. It would have been cool if every single time a table came out, like all these pinball. Imagine the Pinball M in VR, like where you can like be in the Texas, like you'll have Leatherface coming out from behind.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean that may be it. Like they're really gonna have to sell me though over the next 6 months before I really get the money together to buy the 4K pinball, and it'll be interesting. Do I try to do VR and make that work? Because it definitely is a less expensive and it takes up a lot less room than buying one of these big pinball machines.
It's fun. I'm not pushing it to you just for the pinball because, like I said, you do get a bunch of cool tables with it, but they didn't. And then if you want to get the Star Wars, that's a separate purchase. But when they had the Zen pinball, like you had your little house that you're in, you could pick from I think 3 or 4 tables to have out on the floor at once because they give you there's a few more, and then they came out with the Universal pack, and that's it. They never did anything after that.
I forgot too, guys. I had the scores for Doom 2 loaded up here in a video for us, so we can go over those real quick. Just kind of get it. So this tournament here is going through Thursday, so you guys still have time to enter this one. It's by no means closed. Go ahead and enter, no password required. But let's look at the scores we've got already to kind of give us an idea of where people are at on the leaderboards before this closes on Thursday. So Orbital Prime 769 is at 3.6 million. So the scores I'm noticing are a little bit lower in Doom than what we were seeing in Indiana Jones. So I think this table is just, it's difficult. This is not an easy one, I don't think. I'm having a little difficulty learning it, but as I'm learning it, I seem to be getting better scores. But it is tough at first, especially when you don't know what you're doing. We've got Papa Brad at 23. I know that score is going to definitely go up. He's probably just started. Probably only done like one attempt so far, but he's at 5.2 million. We have this number here, long number. He is 6.6 million in 22nd place. We got Mel Cabas at 9.2 million. We've got Ragged Man at 10 million. NASCAR 007 at 12. Inky's owner, Carl O, who's in the chat, he is there at 18th place with 13.245 million points. And let's slide up here a little bit to 17. So 17, we've got, what is that? Cube 3 EC at 13.45 million. There I am, 16th place. So I'm moving up a little bit, but I'm still pretty far down on the leaderboard at 16th with 14.3 million. Stella Link A7399 at 15.105 million. Guatan at 18.931 million. Checkout Girl at 21.374 million. Victor Torino at 22.309 million in 12th place. Let's move up here to 11th. Francisca Dixon at 22.861 million. And let's move into our top 10 here. But I noticed we don't have any like huge, like massive, like crazy scores like we saw in Indiana Jones. It's a little more competitive in this one, I feel. Bitter Berry at 26. Ginger Kev 1314 at 38. Lily at 38. Skill Gannon 62 at 41, 7th place. Dandroid 47 million, 6th place. IA Chamberlain 49 million, 5th place. There Jack at 54 million in 4th place. And let's look at our top 3 here that we've got so far. So 24 already players in this tournament with 4 days left. That's a pretty good turnout so far. Gregory is still in 3rd, so he's 3rd place again this week. He's got 65 million. May Renator 81 million, and Jero was first place. Let's take a look at that. Jero 2505 with 161 million 451. So a lot more competitive in this tournament. And we also saw a $5 super chat come through for Papa Brad, and he's doing Circus Voltaire this week as one of the best real pinball tables ever made. And we are competing in the Arcade Talk tournament this week, pinball code. So we're doing no password in mind, but if you want to join the Arcade Talk, you guys are going to have to know this code to join that one, and it's 3GNC. And they're doing Circus Voltaire. I think that's a Volume 5 Bally Williams pinball pack. And I was going to get that because the only way I can play FX with these guys is to play on my PS5, because my gaming PC is not really set up for FX pinball. But the PS5 plays it very well. But I saw that pinball pack is full price right now. It's like $24. So I'm going to skip this week with Papa Brad's Gaming. But if you guys have that pinball pack that has Circus Voltaire on it, it's pinball pack 5 for Bally Williams. You guys can join in and join their tournament this week. I would love to be a part of that one. I just don't have this pinball table to join you guys this week. But let's run one more Super Chat video for Papa Brad and his $5. I appreciate that. Okay, and then it looked like another message came through where he's saying no password. Okay, I get what he's saying here. Correction, guys. That's a correction on my part. The Pinball FX code 3GNC, that's to find them. So to easily find their pinball tournament in Pinball FX, you're going to put in that 3GNC to find it. And then there's no password to join their tournament. So all players are welcome. Thanks for clarifying that, Papa Brad, because I had misspoke on that. And thanks for correcting that so quickly. But anything you want to leave us with tonight, Brooklyn? I know it's already getting late there in Brooklyn, New York, but anything you want to leave us with tonight?
Dude, thanks for having me on. You've been on my show a few times.
Yeah, I've been on your show a couple of times, and I enjoy coming on, but you guys have such a good time with the gaming. I love when you guys are doing you guys are all on the stream together, and you're competing on like retro arcade games. Are you guys going to start the Friday night arcade show back up, more regular show again?
The only reason I didn't do it this weekend is because, as I said earlier in the show, I'm working on a lot of edited content for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
So my plan was to get as much of that done as possible this weekend, because it's kind of tough during the week. I've made a good amount of progress. I really would have loved to have my too many games video out already this weekend, but it looks like it might be a little more time. I'm not going to put it out until I'm ready, till I'm happy with it.
But we should start seeing your Friday night arcade show more regularly again coming up.
Yeah, I mean, there's times where I do it every single Friday, you know, and then there's nights where I'm like, like the guys will ask me, "Are we doing the show tonight?" And you know, it could depend on how late I'm out that day, because there's a lot of work that goes into it every week. So you know, I do all the editing myself, all thumbnails and everything. So
yeah, I kind of took a break this week. I normally have a ton of prepared like slides and stuff that we could look at.
You normally have these big, bright, happy thumbnails. You put us two.
I know.
There. You're like AI. we look so ominous.
I know. This week I totally just like took a week off, and I was just like I
took a week off, so I had Brooklyn on.
Well, I've been planning on doing this for a while, where we just like have a stream where we just chat about whatever, you know.
I'm fine
but
with that.
He's talking about this thumbnail. I actually used an AI generated image of myself even this week.
Wish you used an AI one of me. I know that picture you got that from. That's where I'm standing with Glenn.
And I put the iiRcade on there because I've been having so much fun with the iiRcade this week. I was like, I got to get that in the thumbnail. But yeah, and another thing too, it wasn't just like having you on with not a prepared show. That I wanted to have you on with no prepared show for a reason, because you and I, we just chill and chat a lot of times when we hang out, or we are talking, you know. It's like we just talk about whatever, random stuff. And you're not like a super organized person with your show. It just kind of leads wherever it leads.
It's a train wreck.
So I was like, this would be a great week to do this kind of format where we just kind of talk about whatever, and wherever the show goes, it goes. But I hope you've had a good time with us.
Yeah, I mean, most of the people in the chat room I see regularly on my channel, but I definitely see a few names that popped up in there that may have not ever visited my channel. I'd love to see you, pop in. If you like this home arcade stuff, I'm sure you'll have a good time watching the Friday night arcade show and a lot of the content that I have planned for the channel. So
definitely
subscribe. I'm trying to hit that 2,000 subscriber mark. I'm getting close.
One thing I was going to say before we leave, I wish what New Wave Toys would have done with the Zultar is they would have done a way where you could just have the lights on, because it looks really good when the lights are just on.
Oh yeah, just have it on without it waking up.
It's really bright, and it like really brightens up that area where it's sitting. I just wish there was a way you could just leave the lighting on, and there's no way to do that, unfortunately. But that's like something that they can improve for the next one, is to have like a third setting where it's just lit up. It's not doing anything, but it's just lit up. Because a lot of times it's just sitting, like this, where it's just like dark and it's not doing anything.
Did you ask Zultar who you should have on the show this week, and it said Brooklyn? Is that how I got the job tonight?
No, I waited till yesterday to find a guest, and I was like, I've been meaning to ask you to come on the show for a while, but I was just like, this has been like a slow like week for news, and it just seems like everything's just kind of been slow this week, and it's like this is a perfect opportunity just to chill and chat and not really have an agenda or anything planned. But man, it's been crazy. I'm like praying for America this week too, because yesterday was real big deal for everyone. I think even if you're into politics or not, like that's just like a big deal for I think everyone in America right now. So this was a good week, just kind of like take a week off and just have a good time on this chat tonight.
If you have a channel out there and you're taking the week off, just remember, hit up your buddy Brooklyn.
And I saw a lot of people like cancel their streams this weekend too, and like say they're not doing content this weekend, and it's like I didn't want to do that. I feel like
saw that too. I still played video games last night live.
But yeah, so I wanted to keep the stream up tonight, make sure we had like a place for everyone to gather and talk home arcade. So appreciate everyone who's joined us, and hope you guys have enjoyed the stream tonight, and we'll see everyone in the next one. Make sure to tune in. I've got the Zultar review video coming out here very soon, hopefully. Also, hopefully I've got some news videos coming up here soon. We'll see what comes out this week or what I can talk about coming up. And we'll see everyone in the next one. It's been a good time. I'll see everyone on that next live stream or video, guys. Have a good start to Monday morning. Good start to your week. And I'll see everyone in the next one. Bye-bye. And get our outro video. Later, guys. All right. So that was cool. Yeah, we went almost 2 hours. No, it was getting late for you too. I didn't want to keep you too late tonight.
I'm a late night person.
Do you have to get up super early for your job?
Yeah, I'll probably get up at around 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Leave by 7 because I usually start whatever my first project by 8. But I don't work in the same place every day, so I never. It depends on where it is. I think tomorrow I could probably leave at 7:30. The house that I'm starting.
You do like security systems.
I do home security and Google cameras, thermostats, doorbell cameras, indoor screens. All their home control stuff.
Cool. So you're on the go all day, like always at new places.
And I'm making a career change after a very long time. I just got offered a position to jump like strictly into sales. So I've been doing security for so many years.
You know all about it.
Yeah, now it's like, I'm like, wow, you know what? It might be time, because thinking more
you'll make
about
a lot more money.
The future. And all I got to do is talk about it, and do the
You
sale.
already know all about it. Like you can answer all the questions.
I don't have to have all this equipment with me, all the stuff that I carry, ladders and everything.
And if you don't like it, you can always go back, right?
I can always go back. Yeah, because I'm pretty much independent. I'm a subcontractor.
Yeah.
So I know everyone too. So that's why, like, when I just had mentioned it, like, dude, we'll literally they bypass the whole interview process and everything, and because I'm independent now, I don't have all these benefits going into like the corporate side. It comes with expenses, vehicle expenses, gas, mileage. It comes with 401k, which I can get my 401k back active again. So yeah, it comes with perks. So.
Oh, nice. And it looks like we're still live, guys. So we have been going for a few minutes.
This is like the after show.
This is the after show, and I didn't even know it was an after show. But hey, it works.
Well, it's good. I was gonna ask, like I asked earlier, like what you do for your members. I've done like after shows like this where we just go live again. We didn't say anything bad. We're just talking about what I do. Everyone knows what I do.
Yeah, I do IT, so I'm a IT guy. I'll answer the phone. Like people need help with their computer, and I help fix it. And then a lot of times I'm working at home, so I get 3 days a week at home, and then 2 days a week I got to go into the office. But when I'm
Yeah.
there, I'm
Well,
like
I can't
physically
do
helping people with their computers.
I can't do like the office stuff. I just like being in a different place every day, you know?
There. Mm-hmm.
And it's like I just know what I know what I do. I can do whatever I want because I just work by myself. If I want to just be like playing a YouTube video, listening to it, and working, it's like I literally don't have to think at this point because I've been doing what I've been doing for so long.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine if like immediately after the show ended, like all of a sudden I just turned into a complete jerk and I started
I
like
know, right?
saying bad stuff about like people in the chat.
Yeah, no, it's like we were like literally going live. We didn't, and we were thought the stream had ended, and we were talking. And it's like, that's who we are. That's what we do after the stream ends. So you guys got a little sneak peek on that, but I appreciate you
keep it
guys,
going, man.
and
Are
I
you
am
gonna cut it?
actually hitting the end stream button this
Ooh.
time. So I'll see you guys.
Now I'm gonna start saying nasty things about people.